Some call me a visionary. Others call me crazy. Maybe both are right. My name is Elon Musk, and my entire life has been a battle against the impossible. I was born in Pretoria, South Africa, in 1971. I was a quiet kid, but my imagination was deafening. While other kids were outside playing, I was inside reading. I read everything I could get my hands on, from The Lord of the Rings to the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. By the time I was 12, I'd programmed a video game called Blastar and sold it for $500. That was my first taste of business and my first real proof that ideas could actually pay the bills. But South Africa felt too small for my dreams. They just wouldn't fit. So, at 17, I packed a bag, grabbed a few dollars, and bought a one-way ticket to Canada. I didn't have a plan, just a direction, forward. I ended up at the University of Pennsylvania, where I double-majored in economics and physics. One taught me how people think, and the other taught me how the universe actually works. That combination felt powerful. After graduation, I stood at a crossroads. I could take a safe, predictable career path, or I could chase the future. So, what did I do? I went all in again. I founded X.com, an online bank in an era when most people didn't even trust the internet with their email address. That company eventually merged with another and became PayPal. When eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, I could have easily retired. I could have bought an island and disappeared. But I'm just not built for retirement. For me, money was never the finish line. It was fuel. And I used that fuel to ignite 3 massive rockets at once. SpaceX, Tesla, and a little later, Solar City. Pretty much everyone I knew said I was insane. And you know what? They were right. A sane person wouldn't bet everything they have on building rockets, electric cars, and solar power all at the same time. The first 3 SpaceX launches were spectacular failures. They blew up, taking every dollar I had with them. I was completely broke, living on borrowed time, borrowed money, and the borrowed faith of a few true believers. Then came Christmas 2008. It was our 4th launch attempt, our last chance. If this failed, SpaceX was done. But this time, we made it to orbit. A few days later, NASA called. They awarded us a $1.6 billion contract. I cried. Not because of the money, but because we had survived. We weren't dead. Tesla wasn't any easier. We had factories catching fire, supply chains collapsing, and critics laughing at us every single day. The media was predicting our bankruptcy on a weekly basis. But I held on to one simple truth. If something is important enough, you have to do it, even if the odds are stacked completely against you. I started sleeping on the production floor, waking up at 3 a.m. to fix broken robots myself. I was on the phone constantly, begging investors not to pull out. And then, finally, the Model S launched. And suddenly, people stopped laughing. They started driving. Now, the world believes in electric cars. It's not because of me. It's because belief itself is contagious. Once people see that a better future is possible, they want to be a part of it. People give me a lot of labels: engineer, inventor, billionaire. But at my core, I'm just a builder. I build tunnels to solve traffic. I build rockets to explore new worlds. I build new possibilities. SpaceX is aiming for Mars, not because it's a cool sci-fi fantasy, but because staying on one planet forever is a recipe for extinction. Neuralink exists because I believe our brains deserve an upgrade, a way to keep pace with the AI we're creating. And Starlink, I just think everyone on the planet deserves access to the internet, whether they're in a bustling city or on a remote mountain in Mongolia. Look, I've made so many mistakes. I've said stupid things on Twitter. I've failed publicly in front of the whole world. I've pushed people and myself too hard at times. But I've learned that failure is just data. It's information. You analyze it, you adjust your approach, and you relaunch. That's how rockets work. And frankly, that's how people work too. I honestly don't care about being the richest person on Earth. What I care about is making sure that Earth and, maybe one day, Mars has people who are rich in spirit, rich in curiosity, and rich in ambition. When my kids ask me what keeps me going through all the stress and chaos, I tell them this: hope is not a passive feeling. It is an action. It's something you build day by day. And until the last rocket burns its final fuel, until the last car completes its final journey, and until my last tweet fades into digital static, I will keep building, because the future doesn't wait for permission. I'm Elon Musk, and I didn't come this far just to stop now. Thanks for watching. If you're inspired to build your own future, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about pushing the limits of what's possible. See you in the next one.